Do you have life insurance? Do you think you need life insurance? I recently got a comment on another video asking what about life insurance, because I didn't mention it. I believe it was my monthly budget video. And I thought, okay, I'm going to address that in a video, and here we go. I do not have life insurance. I don't, and I don't need it. I know some people do. You might not. And whether you buy it or not is up to you, and it's up to me whether I buy it for myself. I will tell you real quick why I don't have life insurance. I don't have anybody depending on me for money. I don't have anyone in my life that I pay money to on a regular basis to help support them. I live alone. So that's a main reason people need life insurance, is if someone depends on them for money. If they are financially obligated to pay for, like, children, if you have young children and you died, a life insurance policy would come in very handy to help take care of those children, to pay for expenses that you no longer are around to pay for. So I don't have anybody who depends on me for financial support. That's my one big reason I don't have life insurance. Another reason is I own my own home. Thank goodness, it's wonderful. It was a lot of work to be able to get to this point, but I'm retired pretty much. I have trouble saying that because I still, I do YouTube, and I consider it to be a job because I'm monetized and I'm earning money from it, and I take it seriously. But I'm retired as far as, I don't go to a job, I don't have an employer, and I don't have any debt. So when I die, it's not if, it's when, my house is paid for, my car is paid for, I have savings, I have retirement accounts, and I don't need a life insurance policy. Sure, if you had one and it paid out, that would be more money for your beneficiaries. But I don't need one. Another reason I might need a life insurance policy is to cover what's going to happen to this body when I'm dead. But I have a prepaid cremation plan because I decided, why not? It has to be, something has to happen. You can't just bury a person for free. And I decided cremation was more responsible, in my view. That's just my opinion. It's what I decided to do. And so there won't be the need for anyone to pay for that expense. I will have it covered. Another reason I might need life insurance is if I wanted to leave extra money to beneficiaries, family, friends, whoever. And I did a video recently about preparing my will and all the paperwork and, legal dealings that I had to do. And I just did it myself because I am do-it-myself peg. And I like knowing, I found out what I needed. I got it done. So I have that all laid out in my will of what's going where. If there's any money left, if I don't spend it all, then it goes to these people. And if I wanted, to pay premiums on a life insurance policy, sure, I could do that. But I don't want to because I don't need the life insurance. If it's at this point, it would be a extra. And it's not needed though. So I'm not going to do it. Just because, a lot of people think you need life insurance. I don't think I need life insurance. Your situation may or may not be different, but, just because things have been done a certain way forever doesn't mean you have to follow that if it doesn't apply to you. And that's how I look at it. And another reason that I might need a life insurance policy is estate taxes. Well, my estate is not very big. It's I'm comfortable, I'm fine, but it is not a large estate that I'm going to be leaving to anybody. It's really not. I wish it were, but it's not. So a life insurance policy may help pay like estate taxes or something. Well, that's not going to be a problem for my estate. It's tiny. It's a little, monopoly-sized estate. A monopoly house or hotel. It's not enough to deal with that. I looked up 2 different sources, Susie Orman and NerdWallet, for when a person might need life insurance. And I kind of ran down the list with why I don't feel I need it, but I wanted to make it more clear about what these experts say. Susie Orman says, the primary purpose of life insurance is to protect those who are financially dependent on you. So, no one is financially dependent on me. That's not applicable. NerdWallet says you may need life insurance if anyone relies on you financially. So it's the same thing, and again, I don't need it. You might be a young parent, a parent of young kids under 18, or you may have a handicapped child, or you may have someone in your life that depends on you, even though it's not an underage child. It could be anyone. And in that case, yes, a life insurance policy may be a good option. And the next point is from Susie Orman. She says, stay-at-home parents also need life insurance. If a stay-at-home parent passes away, the surviving partner may need financial help with childcare and other expenses. That makes sense. And NerdWallet says people who should consider life insurance include parents of minor children and those with co-owned debt, like a mortgage. If it's a married couple and one person dies, can the other surviving person make the mortgage payments? So having an insurance policy, if you still owe on your mortgage, might be a great option. I don't have a mortgage, so that doesn't apply to me. Again, this may be something that does apply to you. So every situation is going to be different. And the recommendations that I found, if you do need life insurance, is to buy a term life insurance policy rather than a whole life policy, because term insurance is less expensive and it's for a certain term. Like if you think, you're a young parent and you want some coverage, you can get a term policy for a set number of years, a set term. And then by then, the plan is that you would have saved some money or paid off your mortgage or something so that your situation was different and you didn't necessarily need the life insurance policy. Or you could re-up and extend the term policy or get another one if it expired. So these are some options for people who may need an insurance policy. In my case, I've looked at insurance premiums for life insurance policies, and they're pretty high. I'm in my, mid 60s, and each year they go up. If you buy it, it may stay the same once you've purchased it, but each year, like if you were going to buy a new policy, it's higher for each year older to when you're going to purchase it. I don't want to make those payments, because I don't need it. If I needed it, sure, I'd shop around and look into it. But the policies can be somewhat expensive. And if you don't have the money or don't want to spend it, don't need it, like I feel like I don't need it, then the premiums can be an issue. And the best option, if you aren't sure if you need life insurance, is to check with a financial advisor. I'm not one. I'm just a person who's been living my life, and I'm sharing some of my experience. A financial advisor can look at your income and expenses and your assets and debts and see if it would be beneficial for you to have a life insurance policy. You know, that's their job. They know all about this stuff, and that might be a good route to take if you're unclear whether you need life insurance. So I hope this has been helpful. If you have been thinking about whether you need life insurance, or, you know, if you have it now and need to reassess whether you need to continue it, you know, it's an individual choice, and my choice is to not have it because of my situation. But everyone's situation is going to be different. So I hope this was helpful. And let me introduce myself in case you're new here. I'm Do It Myself Peg, and I talk about frugal living and meal planning and, you know, whether you need life insurance or whatever. Just a lot of varied topics. And I appreciate you being here. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you would like to see more of my videos. And I will see you next time.